Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a fun one. We've got Agent Fire, the whole team here. Well, the amazing people on the team that know what AI is, because that's what our topic is. It's hopefully the five best strategies with AI. I know that ChatGPT 5 just came out. We've got Luke and we've got Nelson here too, which I'm trying to bring on. Luke, can you do a quick intro as to what you do over there, who you are, for those that don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just go ahead and share my screen here as well so we can get that all started.
Perfect, man. And I like your hat too.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm rocking the merch today. Uh, so yeah, hi everyone. Appreciate you all hopping onto the call today. My name is Luke. I'm the Chief Product Officer here at AgentFire. Nelson and I have been working together for about 10 years. Obviously, Nelson, the CEO and founder of AgentFire. And together we have built the product into what it is now today, powering thousands of agents and team and brokerage websites, not just websites at the end of the day. Underneath, we have all those wonderful marketing tools that we built out as well. And because I do develop with AI every single day, both consumer facing applications as well as just using it in my day to day. Obviously, they brought me in here today to chat with you all, but I'll hand things off to Nelson now that he's joined us.
What's up, Nelson?
Hey guys, hey, what's up, Tristan? Hey Luke. Hey everyone. So you guys can hear me, right?
Yep, you're loud and
Cool.
clear.
Yeah, awesome. So first of all, thank you guys for tuning in today. So yeah, this webinar, Luke is. Yeah, I don't think you guys have seen him in a webinar before. He's our Chief Product Officer. Between me and Luke, I mean, Luke is he's essentially a genius when it comes to AI stuff. He's built out a lot of really cool stuff for AgentFire, which we're going to show you in a second. Luke and I have been very accurate in terms of our predictions for where AI is going. I think you're seeing with the recent release of ChatGPT 5 that really AI, unfortunately, as with all things that are exciting, has suffered from um, just a lot of hyperbole, right? You've had people, it's very common for people to make a video or publish an article talking about how AI is going to replace X amount of jobs, or here's what it's coming for next. Or the reality is AI, obviously AI is incredible, right? It's the next printing, it's the printing press of our generation. But with that being said, I think we've got to temper expectations a little bit. I think, done are the days where you're seeing AI make massive, exponential leaps. I'm still very curious about what AGI will end up looking like. But I think what you're seeing, just to kind of distill. So I use AI pretty much all day, every day. Luke and I both have access to every model you can imagine. So, I'm paying $300 a month for Grok 4, Super, Claude, ChatGPT. Luke is actually building out complex AI workflows for some of the features that we have here at AgentFire, and so he's even deeper than I am. But I'm also, not to go too deep into myself, but I also use AI for research purposes. I use it for I'm big into the longevity space. I do blood work every month, pretty much, and so I'm using AI pretty much all day, every day, and I'm working about 12 to 15 hours a day, Monday through Sunday, and so I think I just have let's say a slightly better understanding of where things are going than the average person. And what I'll say, just to kind of I know this is kind of a lot, but I just want to make it super clear that I think I have a really good understanding of where things are going. I've been very accurate in terms of the predictions I've made so far. And I think what you're going to see now with future models is more, the reality is, like, AI is not going to turn an average person into a genius. I think what it is going to do is people that are exceptionally intelligent, that have the ability to think critically, they'll be able to use AI in ways that will allow them to expand and grow in ways that they weren't able to previously. And so and I think disproportionately, you're going to see that people who are intelligent will benefit more from AI than the average person, because the reality is with AI, it needs a lot of human prompting, a lot of human, it needs a lot of back and forth. And where AI really starts to screw up, is where it tries to do things, almost entirely autonomously. And you're seeing this a lot with some of the agent stuff is really impressive. If you guys have tested out the, ChatGPT's agent is definitely fantastic, and it's good at certain tasks. But when it comes to anything that, when it comes to you guys like writing emails or setting up a listing marketing or stuff like that, there really needs to be a lot of back and forth. AI really needs to understand you, your brand voice, your goals. It can't operate autonomously. And so I think what you're going to see with even the tweaks that they're going to make to ChatGPT 5 and future evolutions of AI is it become more and more of an assistant and become really, really good at just assisting people in the things that they're looking to do versus just replacing people. There's all this talk. And again, people make videos about AI is going to replace this thing and this thing. And I think we're like still really, really far away from seeing AI replace anyone in any capacity. We have a pretty significantly sized dev team, right? There's a lot of talk about AI is replacing devs. I can tell you firsthand, like all of our guys were like forcing to use a lot of these new tools that have come out. And again, the reality is, AI is like you still need really good developers, and AI is not anywhere near replacing developers. AI can sort of like assist a good developer at like fast tracking some of the basic type of code stuff that they need to do. But in terms of like an actual full replacement, it's just not going to happen anytime soon. So anyway, I wanted to take the first couple of minutes of this meet to just, and again, these are my opinions. I could be wrong, but I'm just someone who has every model, uses this stuff every day in every imaginable way. And this is just my full belief. I think Luke shares a lot of the same thoughts. Luke is going to be handling most of this presentation. So he's going to be showing you guys, and the reason we were really excited to put on this webinar is because, like I said, people that are intelligent and able to think critically will benefit disproportionately to just like your normal everyday agent. And so I think just that the topic itself of this webinar, we were hoping would attract, let's say higher level, more critical thinking type people. And so, and we're going to show you ways that you can like really, really, really take advantage, especially now that ChatGPT 5 is out, that you can really, really take advantage of this stuff in your day-to-day workflows to where it's not going to replace any of the things that you're doing, but it can like dramatically augment the stuff that you're doing. It can dramatically, what's a better word that most people would understand? It can just make you guys like way more efficient. I think, I would even say up to, 10 to 15 times more efficient. And so maybe, does that all make sense? First of all, before we
It does, man. It does. Quick question.
Yeah.
Since this is brought to you by AgentFire, are you guys doing the 20% off today as well, or any special deals?
We're going to announce something at the end. So we're going to do just a free iPad or $600 equivalent for anyone that books a demo. We can look into, I don't know. I'll figure things out in the fly. If I'm in a really good mood, maybe we'll throw some down on top of it.
We'll figure it out on the fly. Luke, that's a cue for you to go next.
Yeah. And just to echo what Nelson was saying before we dive in here, everything that we understand about AI right now is it's here to assist, not to replace. There was a lot of these kind of predictions that, we're going to have all these agents replacing jobs fully to be able to do everything at the same level of expertise or skill that a human can. And I think you're starting to see even a lot of top AI companies start to walk that back. Even Meta, for instance, released a post talking about how they're switching to super intelligence that's kind of like our co-pilot versus replacing us. So we're starting to see a lot of that echo. And I think it's very timely because not only with some of the news around GPT-5, as Nelson was saying, is coming out and some of the difficulties people are having with it, but also with everything we're showing you today is help you to complete tasks faster, right? AI is not going to replace your ability to tell personal stories, to leverage your experience and expertise, because at the end of the day, that's what people really connect to, not just, the generic catch-all that AI is going to be able to regurgitate that's out there. And so everything here today is not meant to replace your entire process or system or way of thinking. As Nelson mentioned, kind of like augment or improve it to helping you to complete those tasks not only faster, but more effectively, and also help you complete tasks that maybe were difficult before, maybe you needed to have someone help you out do before. This allows you to cover a little bit more ground or take on tasks with a team of one instead of a team of 5, right? And if we're all good, I could probably just continue to dive into the actual examples that we have today. But the first thing that I want to quickly touch base on is how you can set up your ChatGPT account to really be able to handle these tasks a little bit better, to be able to really inject the kind of context, the tone of voice, your brand, your company information into everything that you're outputting, which at the end of the day, that's going to be the difference maker between like great content and subpar content. That's going to make the difference between anyone using ChatGPT and you using ChatGPT to actually, produce something of quality. So the first thing that I do want to mention here before we kick things off, GPT-5 did just go live on all plans. Now, we are noticing in these early days that it's not the best when it's injecting personality or creativity, and that the 4 models were a little bit better at that. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that ChatGPT 5 and the developers over there will get that all dialed in. But in the interim, if you do want to use the old models, you can go to your settings inside your ChatGPT account. And I believe it is in the general panel here, you can turn on show legacy models. So now up at the top, you can turn back on 4.0 and use that if you would like. But for the purpose of this, I already have examples loaded up, so we'll just run through that. But the first thing that we're talking about here when it comes to the setup is to create projects for each one of your tasks, right? So we're going to be going through 5 today, and you can see here that I've built out projects for each of them. Because inside of each of these projects, what you're going to want to do is you want to add in instructions as well as examples to guide the AI in that task. So what we can see here is in this project that I have set up for creating drip sequences, you can see that I've gone in and added all my information as if this is for a fake agent, but all my information if I were an agent. So I give them my name, I give a little bit of personal background, a description of the area, some of the things that I specialize in, like areas I specialize in, the type of buyers and sellers I serve, my writing style and tone of voice. These are all things that, again, you can instruct inside of your project so that whenever you are starting a new conversation inside of it, the AI is going to reference it. And even if you feel it isn't doing it with a hard enough hand, we'll show you how you can instruct it further to make sure that it is really, really checking this before it completes your task. And then the other example, the other item here is you have a files option inside of your projects where you can upload examples of the perfect output. So if you have like the perfect 5 drip sequence that you've used before that has all your cadence and flow and rhythms and all that kind of stuff, you can include that in a doc, upload it here. So again, you can get the AI to reference it in future conversations. By far, adding context, instructions, and examples like this is going to do the most impact in terms of what you get out of the AI. It's the way that you make it different. It's the way you get more quality. It's the way you differentiate yourself from everyone else using it, right? So these are really important steps. And to put this into context, let's go over 5 different examples that you can start using ChatGPT in these projects every day to complete some popular tasks, right? And the first one is creating more personalized communication. And this is with your email drips. So I know that sometimes we like to set these things on autopilot, but if you look at any study that's out there, if you want to boost your open rates, if you want to boost your click-through rates, adding personalization to your emails is the way to do that. So with that being said, here is the example prompt that we are using inside of our projects. I will actually load up the example in here as well, but we know it's a little bit harder to read in here. So I'll switch back to this for a second. And when it comes to these prompts, there's a very simple formula that you can use every single time that's tried and true. It's my baseline formula that I use with all my prompting to get you really great results. And it's RTC. So role, task, and context. If you can just remember those 3 things, you will immediately notice that you'll be able to start getting better results out of any LLM you use, not just ChatGPT, but if you use Anthropic's Claude, if you use Google's Gemini, if you use Grok, like this is a good baseline prompt to start with. So the role is giving the AI that kind of persona into who it is, so it can help you complete the task a little bit better. And some people will debate how much this actually impacts the output a little bit, the role. But my kind of thought here is the more context you can give the AI, the better. It's not going to hurt it. And at the end of the day, what's good for humans is good for AI. So if you are giving like a human more perspective in what it is you're doing, then it's going to be good for the AI as well. So instead of just like being vague and saying you're a drip marketer, be a little bit more descriptive and say that you're a drip marketer that's, experienced in creating high converting campaigns for real estate agents and teams, right? That extra little bit of context or perspective will really kind of help give it the insights it needs to give you a better output. Then your task is, again, what you would like the AI to do. So in this case, we are instructing it, to develop a 5-email drip campaign targeting first-time home buyers interested in urban condos. You fill this out with whatever you want, but you can take this formula, exactly what we've written here, and anything that's specific to my example, just replace to whatever it is with yours. So it could be, targeting relocation buyers looking to move to Sarasota, whatever the case is, right? And then the final part here, before we get to the example, is the context. So this is where you can start giving it a little bit more details, not just only in the task and what you're wanting it to complete, like it could be like a goal or any other insights you can give into that, but it's also context into your unique insights, right? So anything that you can provide the AI that's going to help benefit, it in outputting something that's more in line with your experience, your skills, all that kind of stuff, start adding it in here, make it super scannable and a nice list. So some things here, I'm, talking about specifically downtown Charleston. I'm mentioning a few things that are specific to that market that I want it to mention in these outputs. I'm instructing it that I want to focus on like lesser known buyer facts, not just the generic stuff. But again, add the context to these prompts. And then the final thing here with the formatting and example is inherently going back to that project. It should start to reference that already from the instructions and file here. But if you are finding that it's not doing a good enough job at doing that, you can set more strict instructions by adding like an optional prompt here that's saying, hey, I really want you to focus on this in my instructions. I really want you to load up this doc and understand this here. And anything with this prompting, it's going to be a little bit of trial and error. So play around with it a little bit. You might find that the first one's not outputting what you want. Tell the AI that. Continue to adjust this prompt until you get it to a point where you're happy with it. But as you can see here, after doing all that, this is now in just a single click, right, of that prompt, producing a 5-email drip campaign that is really good for a first draft. And not only that, I know it's referencing my past emails that I uploaded in that example, because this one here, I had in a previous campaign a soft landing where instead of like a hard sell on the final email, I was just like kind of like, hey, let's go grab a coffee, right? Or something like that. And you can see here that it definitely did contextualize that and reference that in the past one. It made sure to include similar stuff in here, like learning from what I did in the past that I liked, right? So again, really, really great way to structure these prompts to get the best result possible. Now, I know I kind of went in depth into that one. The rest of the one we'll kind of go through a little bit quicker because, again, we're going to send you, I'm assuming, all these slides afterwards with these prompts, but you'll see that it's kind of rinse and repeat, which is really great. You do this once and you're an expert, right? But before I do, Tristan, Nelson, anything that you wanted to kind of bring up or ask before I kind of just quickly go over the other examples?
No, I love this, man. One question that did come up though is, do you recommend people pay for obviously the paid version here on ChatGPT? Do you recommend Claude? As an agent, where do you recommend they go or start?
Yeah, so 100% use the paid version. I'm not even on the most expensive one. If you see on my plan here, I just have the plus version, which is $20 a month. That is more than good enough. And honestly, I can't live without it. Definitely get on the paid plan of ChatGPT. It is my go-to every single day. When it comes to some of the other models, the other thing I always encourage is these prompts, you can try with every single model. And if you find that one is kind of outputting in a way that you like better, then use it. there's not one right answer here. It's all about personal preference. Now, from a technical standpoint, GPT and ChatGPT is up on the leaderboard in terms of the best models out there. But I use Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is an older one, for a lot of creative writing, because I find that its writing's a little bit better, right? A lot of people like, Gemini 2.5 with Google, because they like how it outputs. Nelson really likes Grok 4. So you have to go and try it out a little bit. But I think if you're just getting started out, ChatGPT, the $20 a month, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I would say I want to add a couple of things. One is, again, a lot of the stuff Luke covered kind of reinforces what I was talking about just how important it is to continue just leveling up as a copywriter, like understanding like what is good content. Like what you're going to see now, and you guys are already seeing this, where if you go through Instagram, half the people there, like literally at my Instagram, and it's like, it's actually annoying to me. I wonder if it's annoying to you. If it's annoying to you guys, can you actually share that in the chat? But like literally like 80% of the people in my Instagram feed have now suddenly become like motivational speakers overnight. And they're using ChatGPT to write out captions for all of their posts. And by the way, the telltale sign of this is if they have the long dash in the copy, because ChatGPT like freaking loves that long dash, and nobody ever used long dash before. People would just use a regular dash. I think most of you guys are probably aware of that, but if you're not, like if you just scroll to your Instagram or Facebook right now, just look at all the captions that are the things that people are writing that have long dash in it, and that's like 100% telltale sign that they're using ChatGPT. And it's also like, it's kind of like infuriating, and it's also it's like a bit of a turnoff. And so and what you'll find is everyone is using ChatGPT. It's just some people are better. Some people are using it to just increase, improve, augment what they're already doing, while other people are trying to use it as like as a replacement. And those people, in my opinion, are just going to crash out and burn. They're never going to have the sort of success that people that are operating a high level are having. My favorite email is, are you guys familiar with Chris Smith? He actually was the owner of one of the companies we compete against, technically curator. But Chris Smith, of all the guys in the industry, I just shared a link where you can sign up for his email newsletter. As an agent, I get a ton of email newsletters every day. His newsletter is just consistently amazing, and he's definitely using AI to help him with the process, but it's still like his personality, his character, like you can't replace that stuff. And so I would highly recommend, if you guys haven't, he has a newsletter called the Chris List. It's amazing. It's the best newsletter that comes to my inbox. I just shared it in the chat if you guys want to sign up. And so you guys, I guess my main point here is you guys should still be, again, as much as you want to use AI to help boost the stuff that you're already doing, you also want to continue to just level up your skills, understand what is good copywriting. Don't just use AI as a full replacement for emails and send those to people, because everyone's already getting so many freaking emails. Like, imagine now in this age of AI where people are able to just come up with 5 drip email sequences like Lucius came up with in 2 seconds. It just like the amount of spam that you guys are going to see moving forward is going to like double and triple if you already have it. Like, I'm already seeing way more spam, and it's way more advanced spam. So you still want to try to find your unique voice. You still want to try to find ways to like connect uniquely with your audience, and AI, I'm not sure like will ever be like really, really good at doing that.
Yeah, just to echo what Nelson was saying there again, and I said at the top of this as well, AI right now, here to assist, not to replace. Treat these as drafts, right? Go through, make sure you add your final touches to them. It's really hard to get all M dashes, as Nelson mentioned, out of the AI's output initially. You can instruct it to say like absolutely no M dashes, still going to sneak some in there. But I just go in and I usually just, adjust those out when I'm editing the draft. But again, we're taking tasks that would typically take you like hours to put really good thought in, to write out, to schedule, to do all that kind of stuff. And now you get to do it in like 15 minutes, right? Like these, if you're setting up your projects properly, and as Nelson mentioned before, about those instructions with your brand voice, about those examples, then you're going to be able to get something unique out of it and not that everyone else is getting, right? And so it does help save you a lot of time there. But and I'll move on to the next strategy here, and Tristan or Nelson, if we're running like low on time, just let me know and I'll definitely speed it up. But this next one is for building out instant content calendar. This is one I love. Like, filling your content calendar now is so easy with AI. And again, it's not just with generic stuff. You can really have it create content that's personal to you, right? And so again, what you're going to do is use a prompt like this. I'm sure we'll send you these slides. I'm sure you can screenshot it in the replay. This is filled with my example, but a few key things here is, again, we are giving it its role, right? We are giving it its task with the different types of content we want it to create. And then we're also giving it that context. Now, in this one, I left off, those instructions on referencing my brand voice and my examples. But if you find that it's not doing that properly, you can bring that back in. And again, replace the context with what you have in here. Now, what's really important here that I did for the file upload is I actually uploaded a file of all the content that I've created recently. So the AI can reference that and make sure it's not duplicating topics, as well as it understands the topics that I was creating, right? And that's going to help give it that unique insight that, again, is going to make your outputs a lot different than everyone else's and not make it just lazy and generic, right? So you can see here, I entered that in. What it comes out with is, again, 10 unique topics that are different than ones that I've already created, but still in line with my kind of vision and past calendar, right? And so it pumped out all those there. It added some social media concepts here, some YouTube topics. So now you get to start taking this and building your content around it, whether you're using other AI tools like Vocable, whether you're using tools inside of Canva or Buffer, your CRM, like now you can start really executing on all these. And what I really like with these projects, and just like any ChatGPT conversation, it is a conversation at the end of the day. So when I find a topic that I like maybe it's a long form piece of content, like a blog post, I want to remix that into more ideas so that I can take that one piece of content and build a bunch right off of it, right? So you can see here that I've even instructed them to take the one idea that I have for a blog post and remix it into video and social media ideas. So when I create that blog post, I can easily turn it into, Instagram sliders. I can easily turn it into a YouTube short and all that kind of stuff. And that's how you save not only a lot of time, but this is actually what makes you more effective with algorithms and stuff like that on social media accounts. But again, the strategy of creating your content planner with your projects is another great one. Third strategy is creating engaging videos. We know, especially short form content rules the world right now. There's no better piece of content that gets more engagement than short form content. Now, don't forget, YouTube still loves long format content as well. So have the healthy mix. But for this one, what we're going to be building this prompt around is Instagram Reels, right? Or 60-second video scripts that can be used as Instagram Reels. You can also repurpose this for TikToks, YouTube Shorts, whatever you want to do. Prompts here, you guys can screenshot and follow along, but I'll dive right into the results because, again, this is a rinse and repeat process. There's nothing different that I'm doing here than any of the other ones. The formula is still the same. It's just the information, the context is different, right? So going into the Instagram Reels, again, I've uploaded past scripts that I've written into here so it can follow that cadence, tone of voice, all that kind of stuff. I've uploaded my same instructions that I've used on every single project inside of this. It's not like I'm building it new every single time. And then we are going and starting that out. So again, I just uploaded that prompt. You'll see in this one that I didn't like how it was following the instructions in the parent project. So I just uploaded my example video script into here and I told it to reference it. So again, you have to kind of play around with these things a little bit, but you'll see here that writing really, really great video scripts. Now, this is also at a time before ChatGPT gave the option to bring back the legacy model. So the creativity and stuff wasn't there. So I actually switched it to the thinking mode inside of GPT-5 because I find that when it's using the thinking mode, it will do a better job at understanding the instructions of the task. Now, is it as creative? No, but because I'm using this as a draft, it got me to where I needed to go. And you can see here that it actually is referencing my content because it gave some citations there on where it was kind of pulling some of that that cadence and flow from, right? So again, within a few seconds, right, I have all these video scripts that I can then go and start recording. And the really important thing that I want to mention here as well, and I think it's in the prompt if I go back to it. So when you are creating video scripts with AI, make sure to tell it to write the scripts in a talking head style format. What this is going to do is just give you a really, really baseline script that you can record with your phone. It's not going to tell you all this B-roll or these other cuts you have to make. It's literally just going to give you a straight script that all you have to do is grab your phone, turn it on, put on your gimbal, talk to it, and it's done. They're literally the easiest videos that you can create. So that's like a very important part of this prompt, and why at the end of the day, these scripts are so close to being ready to go, right? Or ready to record. And again, Tristan or Nelson, if you have any questions pop up, just let me know. Move on to the fourth one here. So the next one, love this one as well, is generating your newsletter content. Email marketing, a lot of people think is dead, but if you talk to anyone that's a marketer, anyone that is getting really great results, whether it's in real estate or any other market, that's further from the truth. Actually, email marketing has still the highest ROI when it comes to marketing dollar spend. And Nelson just mentioned like someone like Chris Smith and the Chris List, which is an awesome newsletter. I get like the majority of my content fixes each day from newsletters that I follow as well. And I'm telling you, it is, if you do it properly, it's like the highest value content that you can deliver to an audience, and they love it. Even here at AgentFire, we have a new community called Tribe. I send out marketing newsletters every week, and the analytics on it are insane. Like the click-through rates, the open rates, all that are way above industry norms. And it's because I'm not just using AI to write it and publish it. I'm injecting all my personal insights and stories and experiences. I get AI to assist me with the draft, but then I go and make sure that it has all that extra context and personality into it. And that's the difference maker of it actually working or not. So again, rinse and repeat process here. Here's your example prompt. Here's your formula that you can slot in with your own information. And going back over to that project, this one I didn't add any past examples for, because one thing I wanted to point out is you might not have that example right away. So just go and input your instructions, start that new conversation. And once you do publish, in this case, your first newsletter, that's perfect, then save that and upload it, right? So it's not like you have to do all that precursor work beforehand. Just that first one you do might be a little bit more, heavy-handed at the end of the day. Now, going back to this here. So again, use that prompt. And as you can see that it has pulled up my subject line. It's added a nice header here and all the content for a market report newsletter. I did use GPT-5 thinking for this so that it can pull up some good research for it, because the GPT-5 thinking mode is really good at market research. And again, you can now take all this content, right? Go to your favorite, email marketing tool, whether it's in Follow Up Boss or using Substack or something like that, right? And now you can just take this information and start dropping it into your template, your newsletter template, right? Again, that's what I do. ChatGPT spits out something similar for me for my Tribe newsletters. I just have a preset template in my email newsletter tool, and I just go, section by section, copy that content, put it in there, style it up, polish it up, and within minutes, it's ready to go, right? So again, really, really useful for you to create newsletters. And this is the beauty of AI. Before, maybe you only had time to do like one newsletter a month and you had to keep it really generic. Well, now you get to do really thought out, really robust newsletters, and you can do them every week because you have AI assisting you in all these tasks, right? Now, moving on to the fifth and final one, it's talking about market research. This is, again, what I probably use AI for the most part of my days is to do research, right? And when it comes to real estate, it's no different. You guys can do a ton of market research and also help you to take all that research and build out, market reports and whatever else you're building. So for this task here, what we can, oh no, did I delete that prompt? Oh no, there it is. So for this task here, again, we are going to have it summarize all the market trends for Charleston, South Carolina in this example. I'm again giving it its instructions for the task. I'm again giving it my unique insights or telling it what I would like it to do. And as you'll see here, with the example, it's going to go and find everything. And this is actually what impresses me the most with AI right now and how good it's gotten. So before, with a task like this, tools like ChatGPT would hallucinate all over the place. And every single source it would give you would bring you to like a 404 dead page. It's getting much better at avoiding that. And again, use the GPT-5 thinking mode for this, or you can use the deep research mode as well inside of your tools at the bottom. But GPT-5 or ChatGPT agents, have that kind of built in natively, or should. But anyways, you can get really accurate information, and it shocks me. Like, I sometimes, even when I'm searching for like investment properties or whatever else in my area, I get ChatGPT to go out and find me the best investment properties. I get it to go tell me what's changed in the past month with the market. And I'm surprised with the information it finds me. It finds me like hidden information from the real estate board and gives it to me in here. So even if you don't have a mechanism in place that helps you to automate all this, ChatGPT can now do it all for you, right? You can use this prompt every single month to do this market research. You can check the sources, and again, you'll find more and more often it's not hallucinating this stuff anymore. It is getting it dead to rights. So now you can take all this information. Not only can you have it influence what you do, but now you get to build out better market reports. Now you get to send out better information to your buyers and sellers. You can incorporate this information into some of even the tasks that we mentioned earlier. Like if you're writing email drips, if you're writing newsletters, like this is the stuff that can really start to influence that. But those are the 5 strategies. We also have some other stuff that we wanted to go over in terms of how AgentFire uses all this on our side. But again, I'll pause and to see if there's any questions, or if Nelson or Tristan, you have anything that you wanted to chime in about.
Dude, mostly everybody just wants all your slides and all your prompts. That's all.
Yeah, don't worry, it's all in there. I'll also do a little bit of a selfish self-plug of AgentFire's new community tribe. If you guys aren't subscribed to this, we can link to this right now. I actually post all my prompt formulas and AI tips in here. So we have a full course. Everything in here is less than 10 minutes long. So I keep it really bite-sized, but we have the whole prompt formula course here if you want to even break past these examples that I just showed you and even do more. And we have other things in here as well that can help you win in every week with new marketing strategies. So I'll do a little self plug. But moving on then, Nelson, did you want to show off some of the AgentFire Plus stuff, or do you want me to? I have Chase's website loaded up. I can definitely showcase some stuff there.
Yeah, I would love for you to show it off because you're the guy that built it all. That being said, though, I would like to just just mention a couple of things. One is, Luke, if you could actually maybe get the link for Tribe and share it in the chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, like, Luke is kind of, I think the industry's best kept secret in terms of just overall understanding of AI. Again, he's built, like, we're going to show you some stuff that we're building here at AgentFire that Luke has literally built our entire product here. I kind of didn't want to share Luke until we renegotiated the compensation to where now he's going to get a percentage of the, gross profits of AgentFire. And I think, pretty sure he's not going to leave us. So that being said, now we can let the secret get out a little bit. Luke is honestly a genius. And then also just a quick summary on the 5 points that Luke shared too. I shared Chris Smith. So he's, in my opinion, the best newsletter you're going to find. If you're looking for just best overall communicator, if I had to pick like one guy, it would be Robert Refkin. So you guys should probably follow him, regardless of where you feel about pocket listings, which is kind of his thing these last couple of months. But if you just read his posts on LinkedIn, they are so well formulated and articulate and concise. And I mean, just in terms of just overall communicator, like you want to continue to follow people who are just really good at communicating and figure out like what it is that they do to communicate so well. What is it that makes them so unique to where, even though like Robert Refkin is using AI to help write stuff that he posts on LinkedIn, but if you read his posts, you don't get that sense. On the other hand, there are people that you read the stuff that they're posting and you're just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like, maybe it's just me and I just kind of like hate just generic crap. But generally, as a rule, if you're going to create content, Luke shared some really good ways to be able to queue up video scripts. Like, man, you want to make sure that you're spending time to actually become a good communicator. Make sure that now you have like more time to spend like actually becoming good at video. If you just like suck at video and you're reading a generic crap that a GPT created for you in 30 seconds. Like nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to engage. This is not a way to long-term success. You want to continue to be leveling up, and you want to use AI in ways where it can support these efforts. I saw one question about kind of which models are best for which things. And I'll just say quickly, if you guys have the $400 or I guess $300, Super Grok is great for just general research type tasks. That's what I use it for. ChatGPT probably has the best overall memory function. And so that's my kind of daily driver, if you will. I use it for all of the marketing tasks here at AgentFire. Claude has really good collaboration functionality. So if you guys are working in a team and you want to be able to share projects and stuff like that, Claude is probably on par with GPT in terms of like if you guys are working on marketing material, stuff like that. Good memory function as well. Great ability to link up to like your Google Docs or Google Drive or Dropbox, and to be able to look at other things you guys have written and be able to give it like a bigger kind of knowledge base to pull stuff from. But generally speaking, you really can't go wrong with ChatGPT.
Yeah, one thing that Nelson mentioned there that's really important is that AI kind of gives you the ability to free up your time to really upskill. So one of the reasons why I started Tribe is I really wanted to be better at recording videos and doing instructional content, because I never really did a lot of it before, at least at this capacity. But it's so hard to get started because you have to create these scripts and these ideas and all these different things. But now that I built out all these workflows to help me be more efficient there, I actually get to spend more time, learning the skill of trying to create great videos. And so, Nelson's like dead on when it comes to that. Like it's such a wonderful thing that now we get to kind of cover so much ground, and we get to kind of spend times on this self-development because we get to send some of these more tedious tasks to AI to do, freeing us up to do those other things. So yeah, like if you guys look at my Tribe videos and you like them, go back to maybe the first one or some of the ones that I posted maybe a year or two ago, like in other channels, and you'll see that it's night and day. Like I'm always learning every single week and trying to get better at it.
Yeah, Luke was, look, let's be honest. Luke is like the worst person at creating videos that I've ever seen in my entire
I want to see the videos now.
It was
they were
bad.
just like, it was horrible. Like you'd have to like put them at like 2x speed just to get like a normal speaking cadence. And so like the difference, even just today in this webinar, Luke is clearly, I was going to share this privately with him after the webinar, but he's definitely leveled up in terms of his ability to just communicate and be on video. And
you flowed really well, Luke.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I was joking today. This is actually like I do some private workshops, which are a little bit different, but this is the first live webinar. So I appreciate all that. But like, again, it comes with practice, right? And so AI allows us to kind of get into that rhythm and continue to work on these tasks. But let's just quickly touch into AgentFire Plus. This is my baby. Yep. I love it. I love to show everyone, kind of what we built here at AgentFire. So really what we really found out is that, there's so many great things that, with our product and with websites in general for real estate agents and teams that our clients could be doing, right? But the difficult thing is everyone's so busy. So we really had to find ways to kind of reduce that lift and make it a lot easier. And the wonderful thing, again, with AI is that it enables us to do that. And so I started to dive into building tools that really mimic expert workflows, right? And try to find some of the common tasks that we can solve for our clients and allow them to not only do the things they really want to do, like write blog posts and personalized drips and all these types of things, but do it in a way where the quality is not just like a ChatGPT wrapper, gimmicky thing that you see everyone else doing. That's why it took us so long to release AI tools. We didn't want to be first through the door. We didn't just want to put something out just to say we had AI. We wanted to make it meaningful. And I think when I show you the example today, you're going to see, that example. So one thing I'll do.
Can I just jump in like super quick just to give?
Go ahead.
Like a 1 minute, and I really will try to keep this limited to 1 minute, just a kind of a philosophical overview of where I think real estate websites are and kind of what we're trying to do, what we see the future is. So I think there's kind of like this hidden pain point within the real estate website industry. And I'll admit this even happens at AgentFire, where people just set up a website, and for as many cool tools as they have, the website just kind of ends up sitting there in the background doing nothing. Nobody's really using it. If it's a team website, the team isn't really adopting and using it. And so this is the kind of like we see this is a problem. And if you look at any real estate website provider in the industry, if you look at just websites as a whole, a lot of people set up websites and then they just are not able to leverage them into their day-to-day. They're not super helpful. It's a great social proof tool. Maybe you can, stick it on your business card. People are obviously going to search for you before they do business with you, and your website should be one of the first things that comes up, and it should win in all of those fronts. But that being said, we wanted to figure out, like, how do we make an actual usable website where you can actually use this in your day-to-day workflows? You're logging into your CRM, you're responding to emails, you're at a listing presentation. Like, how do we build a website that can actually help you in all of these situations? And so our philosophy moving forward is we're building the website that you can use to win every interaction. And so all of the tools that Luke's going to show you just philosophically are kind of working towards this end goal of where, like, the end goal of all of this is we're going to have a mobile app. It's going to be called AgentFire Go. And it'll basically just be like your website in your pocket that you can leverage. Like, you're at a listing presentation, you can immediately pull up case studies. You can pull up similar listings. You're talking with buyers. You can send, you're talking to a lead that you got from Zillow for the first time. You can, like, immediately share some of the high value content from your website. We want to make the website something that you can actually use in your day-to-day, every day, to basically win any conceivable interaction. And so with that being said, I'll pass things over to Luke.
Awesome. And Nelson, that gave me time because I forgot I probably should load up an example on Chase's website.
Yeah, I was trying to buy you some time. No,
yeah, the one thing with our workflows and our AI tools, it takes a little bit longer to create the output because these are very complex workflows. Like I said, I try to build these in a way to tackle the task. These are agents at the end of the day that tackle tasks similar to like a human does. But let's just go over two quick examples here. So you'll see here that on my screen, we're inside of our blogging tools. This is where obviously you can create, all your blog content for your website. And if you are AgentFire Plus subscribers, we have this really great tool called Content Magic that can write all your blog articles for you that are fully Google researched, proper citations, hyperlinked text, 2,000 plus words, soon to be AEO optimized as well. So optimized for AI search engines like AI overviews, ChatGPT, et cetera, et cetera. But what you can see here is there's two ways to interact with it. If you have a very specific topic, an idea that you want to write about, you can go through this 3-step workflow here where you can describe your article idea. The AI will give you a few options. You can edit it, then generate an outline, which the AI will do. You can edit it, choose your writing style, and then start having the AI fully write out that article. So this is a way to get a little bit more of a nuanced response. But what I want to show you is the one-click way, because it looks a lot better, is you can go inside of the Content Magic feed settings here. And as you can see on my screen, I have blog articles that I'm feeding in from other websites outlined. So these ones are all blog articles from Keeping Current Matters. If I see a blog article that I like and a topic that I like that I want to write about, so like this one here, all I have to do is click blog about this. And what our Content Magic is going to do is it's going to, all those steps that I just showed you there, it's going to read that article. It's going to find a better way to write it. It's going to generate a completely unique idea off of it. It's going to write your outline, and it's going to do all the research, and it's going to write it all for you. These take about 15 minutes to create. It's no small feat. And we do not sacrifice costs, where a lot of other companies are like, well, we're going to use cheaper models. We're going to take out steps because it's too much money. No, that's the one thing when I was building all this, I'm like, I don't care. We're results first, not cost first, right? And we'll make it work. So it's going to write that there. It's not going to be done in time, but what I can do is maybe pull up another one that it did write.
Yeah, what we could actually just when we send out the replay with the slides, we could send a link to the article that it generated, and you guys can check it out.
And so you'll see here, this is one that it did write. Again, 2,000 words, formatted properly. It is no slouch. And like I said, these are research with citation links inside. So if I go click this on here right now, I'm assuming, I'm really hoping that stat is going to be in there. So you can see that stat is in there. It's referencing it properly. So it's getting the source material correct. Now, that was very dangerous to do on a live demo. I usually should have that prepped up beforehand. But as you can see, that's how much I trust our AI right now. But in addition to that, when it comes to this content you're creating, another thing that we really want to help our clients with is starting off their drip campaigns and their email and SMS sequences with something that's a little bit more personalized. You know, being that first through the door with those middle of funnel tools that you use. So you can go to various aspects of your AgentFire website, like a blog article, an area page, a listing, and all you have to do is type in #drip. And when you do that, you can literally just start generating drips for that particular piece of content. So if you guys noticed before, I loaded up a listing on a client's website. So this is an active listing on Chase's website. And as you can see, I did the exact same thing. I'll just show that process again of what I did.
Yeah, so this is my favorite feature at AgentFire, and I'm going to talk in a second about how we're beefing all this stuff up as well. But essentially, imagine like you can log into your website and you can go to any listing, any blog post, any area guide, any market report, and you can drop #drip on the end of it to automatically create communication that you can use for emails, text, even like Luke's got some stuff in there for Reddit, which I don't think anyone's using yet, but like just all
Reddit's
sorts of drips.
super important, but we won't get into that today. Reddit is super important, but we won't get into it today. But the one thing that I love about this is, for one, like unlike a lot of other AI tools, we try to take the guesswork out of it. So we're just building out campaigns and stuff for you based off of client feedback, based off of industry feedback, so that you don't have to like pick and choose like, well, what should I be writing an email about? Like we're just gonna like be your brain, right? And help you get started there, which I think is an undervalued quality with a lot of other tools out there. But another thing with our drips when it comes specific to listings that I love, for one, if it's an active listing or sold listing, we have different campaign types. We also have different perspectives. So if you're a part of a team, maybe you are sharing a drip for your own listing or for a listing on your teams or your brokerage, or you can even go to the IDX and share a listing for something on the hot sheets that you wanted to send to an interested buyer. So this way you're also like marketing it properly and kind of meeting the rules and regulations of your board. But you can see here, again, these are ready to go, right? So you can see here that from that one drip, we're generating, you know, like a just listed email that doesn't feel like a generic just listed email, right? We are generating conversational based SMS text messages. So all these have like goals baked in where like, we want someone to like actually respond to this. So we're going to tease something and ask a question to hopefully get a response, right? We're building out open house swipe emails and SMS text messages that you can swap in and out. And again, just like everything with AI, that I mentioned earlier with those ChatGPT ones, emails and blog articles here, you still want to like go through it and adjust them a little bit, right? It's not like some of our clients, you know, use them verbatim and have really great success for it, but I still always recommend that like spend, you know, 10, 15 minutes just going through it, you know, eliminating any fluff, like maybe adjusting some of the language. We are going to introduce brand voice features here to AgentFire, so it's a little bit more into your style and tone at the end of the day. But, you know, definitely do that for your blog articles in this. Like, again, here to assist, not to replace. And then you can also email a copy of this to yourself. So it's really easy to kind of, you know, copy and save and pull into all your other different features. But that in itself is the two main AgentFire Plus features. We got a lot more coming out. For instance, we have ones that are going to create these really awesome guide lead magnets for you. So if anyone here uses like buyer seller guides, we got something that's going to roll out in like the next week that's going to send that over the top.
Yeah, I'll mention too also. I mean, so Luke is being, with the workflows that he's created, with the content magic feature in particular, I mean, this is stuff that would take like, you know, probably over an hour, just going back and forth with ChatGPT to create. Like, unfortunately, we can't share like the screens of what the workflow is that Luke created, but it's pulling in GPT, it's pulling in Claude. It's like this long. It looks like a biblical scroll of just code. And what's cool about it too is as all of these different, so as GPT releases new models, as Claude releases new models, we're able to just update these workflows so that they continue to improve over time. As Luke mentioned, we're not sparing any costs. Like from our perspective, we want to give you guys the absolute best tools possible. We think that reflects positively on AgentFire. Like ultimately, we're in a market and an environment where the more success our clients have, the more success we're going to have. And so we're going all in on this stuff. I'll also mention too, we're building a lot of stuff on the back end to really try to capture your brand voice and your identity so that this way, like more and more, the drips that are created are instantly kind of reflected in your voice. They're as concise as you want them. They're in your style, because again, the goal is to just make the ultimate sort of website assistant, where you have at your fingertips. So you pull out your phone, you're able to just share any of the high value content, any of the area pages, any of the market reports. And we've got this cool guide creator tool. I mean, you can literally create like a buyer's guide infused with your personality and with lots of information that is like very hyper local to your specific market, like in a couple of minutes. And this stuff is super valuable. It reflects really positively on you guys. And if you guys are leveraging the stuff in all of the conversations you're having every day, you're just going to win that much more business. So yeah, anyway, look, we've got a paid setup. So we would love for you guys to just do a demo with AgentFire and see some of the stuff for yourself. We set up agentfire.com/iPad. agentfire.com/iPad. So, as if hopefully, you guys are encouraged enough to do a demo with AgentFire, but we're also just going to be everyone that books a demo and holds their demo by this Friday. We're going to enter to win either an iPad or $600. We've done this a couple of times. Every single person has always picked the money. I'm excited to see when someone will actually pick the pick the iPad. But yeah, we'd love for. I mean, we've got a lot of really cool stuff. That we're working on. We're trying to be the website that you can use in every interaction, and we'd love for you guys to give us an opportunity in a demo and kind of see what that's all about. That being said, we did have a bunch of questions that we got, and we'd love for you guys to even just shoot over some more questions. Happy to just spend a couple of minutes doing some Q&A.
And yeah, like I would love to answer any questions. Also send me those questions, because a part of Tribe, there is an AMA wall. I can also answer them through there. So anyone that subscribes to that, I can definitely answer more questions in there if we don't have time for some of them today.
Yeah, guys, we've got about 3 minutes. I've got one here for the blog. Can you import custom sources?
So you can't necessarily import custom sources, but in the 3-step process that I shared with the blogging tools, which I'll pull up again here, you get to influence what it's researching and doing, quite a bit more. So you actually get to kind of dictate that article outline, the topics, all that kind of stuff. So that's where you would do it there. And also, when the article is completed in that draft, you can also swap out, that little chunks of content in there as well, right?
Perfect. Easy. And I saw that you put up a link for the tribe, which is great, guys. If you're not part of it, jump into that one. Let me see what else we've got. I think I answered all the other ones that were popping up. I was doing my best to get them all. We've got it. Please take a look at AgentFire. The link is at the bottom. Guys, this was awesome. I think we should do something like this periodically, specifically on AI and where it's going, because we had such a great response on this one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here to help any chance I get.
Great job, Luke. You did a very, very good job, man. I
Appreciate it.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. See you, everyone.
See you, Tristan.